What the hell is up, YouTube? It's been a while. A couple videos ago, because I haven't been uploading that much. It was the one where I talk about my new GoPro camera, and I bring you guys down a trail, and where I leave off on the end of the video, I talk about an area that I haven't been in a little while. Well, today I am going back to go down that trail, and I'm going to show you guys, and we'll see if we can see any wildlife. If not, we can just enjoy a nice nature walk. Since I have been out here last, a lot of people have been telling me that there's a lot of homeless people camping out here now. I don't know how bad it is, so I hope it's not shitted up too badly, but I guess we're about to see. So I also want to apologize for my inconsistency in uploading. I mean, I made a video about this very recently where I talk about why it's hard for me to always get out and do stuff. But for right now, I'm hoping I can get into a good streak for a little bit while the weather stays nice, and I can continue to go out and do activities like this with you guys. I'm also going to do another reptile video coming soon. I know most of you guys are probably here for those. That is coming. I have to redo some enclosures, and my betta fish also died last week. I don't know what the cause was. I believe it was a combo between the heat and me possibly overfeeding a little bit too much, and just between the heat and the overfeeding, it was just too much. That's the only thing that I can come up with. The water is perfectly fine, so I don't know. I don't have AC in my place. I talked about this in last year's video, or it might have been 2 years now, where I talk about my crested gecko that died. And yeah, I don't have AC still, so if it's in the 90s outside, inside my studio apartment, it's 90 pretty much. So anyways, that's not what this video is about. This is a happy video, and we're going to be doing some exploring today, and hopefully see some awesome wildlife as well. If not, just enjoy nature. I don't know if you guys can see that. There's a big snapping turtle right there. I have to do all these close-ups with my phone because unfortunately the only thing about my GoPro is that I can't zoom. Look at this big monster just at the bottom of the river here. This is the Ashwellet River here. I'm just overlooking the bridge. It looks like he's looking for food and stuff on the bottom of the floor. You can see him moving nice and slowly and swiftly. A true predator. Although they're not predators. I mean, they may be scary to some people, but they don't mean any harm. I mean, you have to appreciate them. I love snapping turtles. To me, they're not the mean animals that people seem to think they are. And in the shadow. How cool is that, guys? Our first animal for today, and I'm just crossing this bridge. I wasn't even going to start filming yet, but this is a hot spot. Oh, looking over this bridge into the water, I'm always seeing, well, snapping turtles I always see a lot of wildlife. A lot of times there's a lot of ducks and geese, and I also see the blue herons all the time, and beavers, muskrats. It's just filled with wildlife along this river that we're walking along right now. I'm not on the trail yet, but the trail also goes all along the same river, so hopefully we'll see some more soon. I also, in the area where we're going, I also see a lot of garter snakes all the time. They're really fast, but we'll see. You saw in my video where I went to Goose Pond where I saw a garter snake. Unfortunately, I was not able to catch it, but who knows? That could change in this video. We'll see. So right up here is where I ended that video that I was talking about at the beginning, where I came down here and I ended the video just right up here. Well, we're going to continue this way along this path. And this is actually the exact place that I ended that video. It's the video where I talk about me getting a new GoPro camera again, just to clarify. So, because I talked about 2 recent videos now already, so I just didn't want you to get you guys confused. It's the first video I was talking about. But yeah, I ended the video right here. So we're going to be continuing along this pathway, and we'll be seeing what we can, let's see what we can find and what we can come across, and hopefully nothing that we don't want to see. Like I was talking about earlier, there's a lot of homeless people camping back here, that from what I've been told, and I just really hope that it's not all trashed up like all the other areas around town that have been infested by the homeless people. And you know, I try to feel bad for the homeless people, but you guys have to remember, most of these people have drug problems or alcohol problems, and that's keeping them homeless. And I'm not saying they're bad people by any means, but they have their own problems, and if they can't deal with their own problems, then they need to be held accountable for their actions. Just because they're homeless or, you know, got an alcohol or drug problem doesn't give them the excuse to, you know, trash places up. And, you know, not only does it ruin it for them, but it ruins it for people like us from being able to go into places and explore. So let's see, that's all dried up. Now, if so far so good, I have not seen a piece of trash at all, which is a good sign. But if I do see anything really bad, I may report it to the town, if I think it's really bad. But hopefully I don't need to do that. I don't know who owns this property. I don't know if, I think it's owned by the city or the state. Actually, that's what I think. But I don't know. So if it is, if there is a lot, if I do end up finding a lot of trash, I may need to figure that out, so I can tell the rightful people. But again, hopefully I don't need to do that. So far it's looking great, so I don't need to. I have not seen one piece of trash. That's good, doing good so far. But see, the river is just right here. That's actually the hospital right there. So we're on the other side of the river behind the hospital right now. But this is one of my favorite places to go. And it's been probably a few years since I've been down here. And so I'm glad to be coming back down here. You know, and the thing that I don't like is not having a way, not having transportation, because I don't drive, not having transportation outside of my town here. The places I can go are very limited, and when I keep going to the same places over and over again, all these places just kind of get a little stale after a while, you know. And I'm not saying that, you know, I don't want to not come back to these places. Something jumped in the water right there. But and because every time, even the same places, I can go a million times and I'll always see something different, which is still cool. But at the same time, for me, I also need a change of scenery. And I just get sick of, oh yeah, that tree again, or yep, this again, you know. It's just, so coming back, like it's been a while since I've been back here, so it's really awesome to, when I'm able to do, you know, like things like this, be able to kind of really take it easy from a spot for a bit. That way it's so much more exciting when I do come back, like now. So there's the water there. I'll go down, take a gander. Whoop. I don't want to go too close, but it is really dry. That was a good time. Some bubbles in water there. Can't really see much if there's anything underneath the water. It's really hard to see. We're in the shade. But maybe we'll see some more snapping turtles. There's this one huge snapping turtle I always see down here more. We'll see if he's out. He's down at the end of the trail more, but I'll show you the log that I'm always used to see him at. But this is incredible, though, just to be back here. And so far, no trash, which is good. So if people are camping out back here as of right now, looks like the land is being well taken care of. So that's a good sign. That's what we want to see. There's another area very close by where a lot of homeless people like to camp out, and I actually used to camp out there when I was homeless back 7 years ago now. For just almost a year, I camped out in the woods in the middle of winter too, because I refused to go to a homeless shelter, and everyone's like, how could you do it in the cold? It's really not that bad. It doesn't get that cold. I mean, it gets cold, but it's not as bad. I mean, I think the lowest that I stayed out there was 7 degrees. But normally I was able to go to other friends' houses on the really cold nights. But 7 degrees is the lowest I was able to be out there for, and it wasn't bad. It really wasn't bad. So I loved being out in nature. The only problem is where I was a lot of other homeless people, and you couldn't leave anything important at your campsite when you left to go back into town for stuff. So stuff would always go missing and get stolen, and people would go through your tent go through my tent and all that. So everything that I cared about, I had to take with me in a backpack when I went to town, so that made it more difficult. But, you know, it is what it is. I had to do what I had to do. I think that was the most difficult part, is just not having all my stuff in one spot and just having to keep all my other belongings at other people's places for that time being. But the actual camping itself, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I was happy, and I'm peaceful out in the woods until people came back. So but yeah, I just wanted to talk about that, and it could be another video. We can go explore the areas that I used to camp out in. I can show you that. I mean, to warn you though, it's what I want to say is it's really bad out there. It's like really trashed, like, but I feel like I need to show that part just so you guys can kind of know how much trash I'm talking about. Like, it is like an absolute dump in the place where I used to camp now, in those woods. And it's terrible because I love the trails. The trails in that spot are awesome. And just people camping, they leave everything behind. And it completely ruined it. What could have been a beautiful nature trail like this, it's all overrun with garbage and people's abandoned campsites and stuff. So it sucks when people don't respect the land. And you know, I always tell people, I'm sure people don't mind people camping there as long as you clean up after yourself, like I did. I took all of my trash, I bagged it up, and I carried it out with me and brought it to the nearest dumpster, or, you know, there was a park nearby there that I put it in the trash there. It's not that difficult. And obviously I had a campfire too. How do you think I cooked my food when I was out there? So, I mean, I burned what was burnable, like all the wrappers and stuff. It was mainly all like metal soda cans and stuff that I brought back with me, the stuff that was a lot harder to burn. So for now, I'm gonna try not to talk because I just love listening to the sounds of nature. And I hope you guys wanna appreciate it as well. That's the whole purpose of me coming out here, is just enjoying my surroundings and being at one with the earth. Dragonfly, look at that dragonfly, guys. That's a pretty dragonfly. Alright, buddy. I won't bug ya. Probably a squirrel. Also just want to say how much better it is to be in the woods now, out of the direct sunlight. Significantly cool. It's really hot today. It's like 90 degrees out today, so today's one of those hot days. Right here is the spot. I don't know if, well, technically I guess anywhere, it doesn't matter. It's not necessarily right here, but this is the area that I always used to see garter snakes. However, right now I don't think we'll see much of anything. There's a little toad. Oh, there it goes, hopping away. Bye, little toad. I always see toads back here too. There's another one. Oh, there's another one. Oh my god, there's so many. There was like 4 right there. Yeah, there's a lot of toads, frogs, garter snakes. Anyways, I was saying, it is the middle of the day in the dead of the heat, so I don't know how much like garter snakes we'll see. They usually come out in the morning and bask in the morning sunlight and then retreat back to the coolness of their under the leaves or burrows, dens, to stay cool for the dead of the heat in the middle of the day. But I'm hearing a lot of movement, and I think to me that sounds like other toads, most likely American toads. Again, there's more movement right here. I can't see what it is though. It's toads though, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm not gonna dig too much in, but it's just really cool because we can see a lot. There's another dragonfly. This is awesome. I haven't been back here in so long. I always find cool stuff back here. There's a tin can lid. First piece of trash. So with that being the only piece of trash so far, it's a really good sign. I'm just walking slower now because I'm afraid I'm going to step on something I don't want to step on. Like a cute little toad or... I think my camera overheated. My camera is getting hot and the battery is draining quite rapidly, so I may take a break here in a bit just to let my camera cool down, find a nice spot to sit by the water or just somewhere in the shade would be nice. But yeah, I don't know how much of the last clip that you saw, I'll know when I'm editing it what got cut off, but I'm just rambling on. Nothing too important. I was just talking about how I don't want to accidentally step on anything, so I'm walking a lot slower now. That's pretty much all that you missed, I think. There's a nice spot at the end here where... Guys, I had to start recording from my phone because my GoPro kept overheating. But you didn't miss anything important or anything. I'm just rambling on. Nothing super important, but we're almost at the end. I feel like we got here pretty quickly. But that big snapping turtle that I was telling you about, this is the area where I always see them. So we'll see. This is, let me see if we can see it from right here. We might have passed the area where I see them. We might have, can't remember if it was here or if we passed it already, but here's an opening right here. I mean, it's grown up a bit right here. Can't even see the water with this tree right here growing now. But anyways, this is pretty much the end of the trail right here. It's really pretty. I'm not seeing anything else right now. I'll just record with my phone for the rest of the way, and saw something in the water right there. Huh. Can't see. I love this area though. This is amazing. Now you can kind of see. Okay, so the area I always used to see, the big huge snapping turtle I was talking about earlier in the video, is somewhere right down there around the point of my finger that you can see. It grew up a lot, so I couldn't get to a lot of the other smaller trails I always used to be able to go to. But there's movement right over there. I don't see anything from here. But down here is actually a dam, a beaver dam. Oh, this is different. Tree. This must have happened recently. Well, during one of the last couple winters, most likely. Look at this. I don't think anyone comes down this far. Well, that's good for us, right? This is why I like coming down all the way, because I never see anyone else come down here. So this is my favorite part. I love to go places where not a lot of other people go, as I was saying earlier in the videos, because of people trashing it up and not respecting the place. So let's see if we come across anything. I usually never see much down at the end here, but it's a really good place to just hang out and chill, relax. This fell down. I'm gonna have to go around. We're just going right here anyways. The trail literally ends right here where the top of this tree is, so like right here, like this is the end of it right here anyway. So we're not missing out on much. Plus we can just go up here and go down. But my stupid GoPro overheating though. It sucks. It's one thing I don't like about the GoPros is I think they all have that overheating problem, and I was reading that the newer one that I got has it less badly. That's why I went to the newer version. So if the older ones are worse than the one I got, then I went with the right choice by getting the GoPro Hero 13 rather than any of the previous models like I was going to, just to try to save some money. But either way, wow, the dam is non-existent anymore. Okay, this is right there. Okay, the water's high right now. A lot of water movement. That's why the water's so high. This is where I usually go, right there. Usually end right here. This usually isn't filled up with water right here. Now it is, because that's all dammed up. That's why it looks so different here, because the water's all dammed up right there. That's the Beaver Dam has got that all dammed up. I don't know if this is a good thing, but it looks really kind of, I don't know if someone should come in here and clear that, because it's supposed to go in the river. And it's not. It's just a swampy area now. I feel like I should be seeing an alligator here. Alligators don't live up this north, this far this north, but I feel like if they did, this is where it would be. This just reminds me of the swamp. This is a swamp. But I don't know. I'm not seeing much of anything, but it's really interesting to see how much things change over time. And like I was just showing you how deep it is now, how much water there is now. And that could be a problem, because it's supposed to be going into the river right there, but it's all dammed up right there, so it can't go into the water, the river, like it's supposed to be. That could be a huge issue. You know, and I don't like to talk illy about any animals, but that's the thing about beavers. They cause a lot of destruction with their dams. And a lot of people don't realize this. In my dad's pond in Connecticut, he had beaver problems, and he's always, even though he's not allowed, he's technically not supposed to shoot them, he still does, because they wreak havoc and destroy ponds, and you know, where the water system, where waterways connect, they block that off and completely mess that up and cause flooding. So as beautiful and cool as beavers are, they cause a lot of destruction by building their dams. It's just very unfortunate, because all that water that I showed you down there should be going into here. It's supposed to be flowing into here, and it's not. So I'm curious to see how much that's going to affect the area in the future. especially right now. We haven't gotten a lot of rain, so it shouldn't be high. It shouldn't be high. Alright guys, I'm heading back out the way I came in on the trail. At least I was able to film with my phone there. But so I apologize for the parts that did get cut off, but you didn't miss much or anything. I'm gonna end the video right here, but if I do see anything, I'll just put that in after this. But it was really cool to at least see that snapping turtle and those toads. For wildlife, at least we got to see that. But you know, it's just an enjoyable nature walk. So we don't always, I always say this in all my videos where I'm walking out in the woods or in the nature, is it's not always about seeing animals every time. It's about being out in nature and enjoying the habitat around us, the surroundings. Like, look at this. Look at this. Like, that's how beautiful this is. Just being one with nature, just being out here along all this wilderness, you know, the greenery, the trees, and whatever wildlife we do see is very much appreciated, but not, it's definitely not, you know, not a demand or anything, you know. We can't be greedy. We can't always expect to see wildlife every time, because the reality of that is it's just not always going to happen. But I will tell you, just because we don't see anything doesn't mean that wildlife isn't there. Because you know for sure, they know they're watching you, they're hiding, they're avoiding you. They're just waiting until it's safe to come out again. For all we know, as soon as I leave a spot, something really cool could cross the path right behind me, you know? I mean, and that's the thing. That's what makes nature and wildlife unpredictable, but amazing at the same time. Because, you know, say there was someone else with me and that was walking behind me on the path, and I might have not have been able to see certain things, whereas the person behind me may see stuff that I didn't. So it's a hit or miss, and you can't always guarantee Mother Nature, what Mother Nature is going to show us. And my videos are not just about loving and appreciating animals, but loving and appreciating nature and wildlife and Mother Earth as a whole. And I hope you guys enjoyed coming along this little adventure with me today. I have some other places that I want to check out similar like this, and as I said earlier in the beginning of the video, I will have another reptile video from my animals coming soon. A snake feeding video is coming up soon, and who knows what else we'll get to. But I may compile it in with another nature video like this, because I don't think I have enough where I feel would be enough for a whole video. Feeding my snakes only takes like 5 minutes. It's really quick, and I don't have that much, so it doesn't take up enough for a whole video. That's another reason why I haven't done much of that. So I may start the next video with that and then end up doing something like this for the rest of the video. But who knows, you guys will have to see. Like the video if you like this content, and if you like animals and love the earth, you're gonna love this channel if you're new here. And please share this video out. It's gonna helps me a lot. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next adventure. Peace. Remember, guys, to love and treat all living beings equally, no matter what. And I'll see you in the next one.